Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are the 7th and 8th grade academic team. My name is Nicole, and I'm the social studies teacher, although my class this year is called Current World Affairs. During your 2 years with us, we hope you come to see that our content is not the most important thing that we teach. If we are successful in helping kids down their life road to agency, our content and anything else that the child wants to learn will be accessible to them. This seems even more relevant in these challenging times. But this is a road, and by design, this is not a passive journey. It's about engagement and about effort. In remote learning especially, we know that this is difficult and people have different situations. But we are guides. We are guiding this process, not perfection.
Hi, my name is Matt Strand. At Polaris, we try to include learning targets in our lessons to help demystify what we want students to accomplish. So we've created some for you. First, I can identify how teachers work to build student agency at Polaris. And two, I can identify ways to support my child on their middle school journey. You may be aware of some of the engaging academic projects and the positive relationships that we strive for at Polaris. But there's much more that meets the eye. Your middle school teachers are very intentional in how we design lessons and projects so that we help students become leaders of their own learning. Even though we are currently learning remotely, we've taken great care to connect one lesson to the next so that students can gain confidence as they progress. However, it's essential that students engage actively in live sessions as well as on their own to meet learning targets. The learning, confidence, and independence we strive for in our students will only come through being present and intentional in each class. We believe that when students internalize what success looks like, whether it's on a math problem, or a science experiment, or a research article, or an essay, and they know what resources and support and effort they're going to need in order to get to that success, and lastly, what their next step is going to be, then they become more motivated and they have more ownership over their learning, no matter what comes their way. So what's the secret? Every step of the journey matters. Even when we make mistakes, as long as we are trying to learn and we are asking for help and we are working towards success, learning is happening. And the good news is that we're crew and we're on this journey together.
Hi there, this is Steph, and I'm going to talk to you about some common tools that we all use to enhance our instruction. We all use Google Classroom, and it is probably the most important tool for students to use to help them be successful in their classes. It is important to note that all of the example images I show you about Google Classroom are from the student's point of view. In order for you to see this as a parent, you will need to sit down with your child and have them log in as themselves to show you their Google Classroom. Here's an example of what a student might see when they are in their Google Classroom. In this example, you see a quick glance of the 4 classes that this student is enrolled in. Clicking on one of these lets students see all of the assignments and resources that are available to them in each of their classes. Let's take a deeper look. Students will find almost all of their assignments in Google Classroom. It serves as a hub for students to get and turn in their work. This is an example assignment a student might see inside one of their classes. Assignments can have many features, such as due dates listed, instructions and helper docs for completing the assignment, rubrics and checklists to help students know what success criteria looks like for the assignment, examples and models, and even videos and links to other resources. Another tool that is available in Google Classroom this year is called the To-Do section. This is a great tool to help students stay organized and on top of their work each day. Clicking on To Do shows students what has been assigned, what may be missing, and what they have completed for each of their classes. In this example, under the Assigned tab, you can see a rough timeline of when assignments are due, more specific due dates, the title of the assignment, and what class it is for. Students can click on the titles and it will take them directly to their work. Under the Missing tab, students can see what they didn't turn in for each of their classes. This includes when it was originally due, the title of the assignment, and what class it was for. And finally, under the Done tab, students can see what assignments they have completed, when they have completed it, and what score they may have received if it was graded. Because our lessons build off of each other, we ask that students honor the due dates. We understand some students may need more time on a particular assignment, so students can fill out an extension request for our classes. An extension request is a tool that we all use, and links to our individual extension requests can be found on our Google Classrooms and on our teacher landing pages. If students haven't communicated with us via an extension request before the due date, they may not receive credit for the assignment missed. Providing extension requests for students to advocate for their needs is yet another step that we offer students on the way towards student agency.
Hey, it's Nickel here. Let's take a look at the weekly schedule. When we're in-person learning here at school, we have a bell schedule that we use so students know when to move from class to class. And we're going to be using that same bell schedule from Monday through Thursday, where students will go to each of their classes at these predetermined times. And that is the expectation, is that they show up to each of those classes, obviously digitally, during those predetermined times following this bell schedule. On Friday, it looks a little different. On Friday from 8:30 to 10:30, we're going to be offering office hours for students to be able to come and ask us questions, maybe some clarifications on revisions, or meet with us about things that they might have missed or that didn't make sense throughout the week. We can meet outside of these office hours, but students need to contact us to set up a time for that. Because from 10:30 to 3:30, teachers will be in meetings and accomplishing planning tasks outside of those office hours. So we still have some availability, but it's important that students actually schedule with us if they cannot meet those, if they cannot meet during the time that we have the established office hours. Now, in terms of our real-time learning, during those predetermined bell schedule class periods, we're asking students to show up in Microsoft Teams. Now, this is just a video conferencing platform that we can chat through text chatting or even through video chatting and conferencing. In this screenshot that I selected here, you can see how we can actually create an image as though, or an experience as though we're all together in one room. And this is what we're trying our best to do, is to create an environment where we get a sense of community. So the Microsoft Teams is where we'll do a lot of our instruction, as well as just conference and meet with students. The students then, to demonstrate their learning, will be turning in their assignments and accessing all of their classwork on Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is more of like the turn-in tray, and the Microsoft Teams is more of like the chairs and desks that we have in our classroom. When students need to communicate with us, we encourage them to use Microsoft Teams for anything that's happening in real time during their class period. If they have questions outside of their class period, then we really encourage them to send us an email using their school email. And so the real-time communication, meaning like during the class period, we're asking them to use Microsoft Teams. Anytime means like if they're not in that class period, then feel free to send us an email. Now, if students do send us emails, we really are looking for an email in which we can see that the student has owned something that they've done and they know what it is that they need from us. And so instead of just asking, how can I fix my grade? We're asking the student to address the teacher, for example, Dear Nickel, and then tell us what is it that they need help with, or where are they at, and what is their question. So you can see here that this student, Thomas Edison, says, I see that I got a 2 on my physics science notebook assignment. Can I meet with you to revise this? And then they sign it with their name. So in order to teach these types of communication skills, we want to help students formulate these emails in a way that is respectful, but also so that it's purposeful, so that we don't have to go back and forth between teacher and student trying to resolve what their question is. And so it's really important that they ask us direct questions when they do communicate with us.
Remember, your 7th and 8th grade teachers are here to support your child's learning and well-being in a very challenging time. One thing we ask of our students and families is to assume best intent and to ask clarifying questions. We know that sometimes technology does not work correctly, or things might be confusing, frustrating, or even overwhelming. Please reach out and ask clarifying questions of your teachers. We are happy to help. 2, even though we are not live in a particular class at every moment in the day, we are very much present and available during the day, so please reach out to us and connect. However, since we cannot see a kiddo in our classroom who might be struggling or shutting down, students, please contact us if you're having a hard time and need some extra help. Set up those office hours and show up. Parents and guardians, please let us know if there's something we can do to help your kiddo out. And lastly, we certainly do not expect students to sit in front of a computer all day. We want them to take stretch breaks, to engage in some physical activity, get outside, get some fresh air, have a snack. As long as they're able to come back and take care of the work and meet learning targets, then that's what they need to do. In conclusion, if your child encounters struggles this year, please remember these are life skills that we're teaching. When kids learn to persevere or ask for help or try a new approach or revise, they are becoming learners rather than students. And they're becoming more resilient and better equipped to take on any challenge that they encounter. Please reach out to your teachers if you have follow-up questions. Thank you so much for checking out our back to school video. And here's to a great 2020-2021 school year. Thank you.